Hello all, I am the Holland Phantom, and for today's video we're going to be having a special battle from the 2007 format, featuring Controlled Chaos Gaming as today's opponent.
Hey everyone, my name is Andy from Controlled Chaos Gaming. I'm really happy to be here today.
On one side, I'll be using the Metagross and Dragonite deck, known as MetaNite, going up against the Flygon EX deck on the Controlled Chaos Gaming side, so we'll see which of these two decks can take the victory today. But before we begin, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and also to Controlled Chaos Gaming for videos on standard Pokemon TCG. And now with that out of the way, let's get into the battle!
Let's get into the battle. Looks like I'm starting off with a Trapinch here. Gonna draw a card for turn. And it looks like I've got a Nidoran to place down, as well as a Rainbow Energy. That is going to damage me, but it is going to allow me to use a attack the next turn.
Okay, over to my side now. I've got Holland's Cast Form as my active Pokemon, and the first supporter is going to be Holland Mentor. I can activate this card by discarding one card from the hand to search the deck for up to 3 basic Pokemon as long as they've got 100 HP or less. So we're going to be choosing 2 Beldum and a Dratini. The Beldum are going to be the main attackers once they evolve into Metagross, and Dratini is going to be the main energy accelerator once it evolves into Dragonite. The first attachment is going to be a Lightning Energy onto Cast Form to attack with Delta Draw, drawing 3 cards, 1 for each Delta species, on my side of the field, and now over to you.
Yeah, this is exactly what I did not want to see here. My opponent is getting all set up, but it looks like we do have at least a TV reporter this turn, so I'm going to draw 3 and discard 1 card from my hand. Looks like it's going to be a Rainbow Energy. It's going to allow me to use that Emerge charge later on. We've got a second Trapinch going down. That's going to be a lot better for this scenario, and it looks like I'm just going to have to use Bug Bite here for 10, and the opponent can't retreat.
Okay, back to me now. Another Dratini comes down onto the bench. We've got 4 Pokemon down so far. No more cards to play, so it's going to be going straight for the Delta Draw, getting 4 more cards out of the deck.
Wow, that was a quick turn. Let's try and capitalize on this. We've got the Holland Scientist here, going to discard a Boost Energy, and because I only have 5 cards in hand, I'm going to get to draw 6 cards to equal my opponent's hand size. Discarding that Boost Energy as well will be really good for the Emerge charge attack. And we're going to see Bug Bite. Okay, my draw. I've got 12 cards in hand, so I should have something good to play down. A Metal Energy comes down to one of the Beldum, which then evolves into Metang, so we're almost there. Okay, going to be opting not to play any more cards in the hand, going for another Delta Draw, getting another 4 cards out of the deck. Another quick turn here for the Holland Phantom, but something tells me he is definitely going to be setting up that board very quickly. We've got another TV reporter here, draw 3. I'm going to discard a Holland Scientist, not very applicable in this matchup, of course. And we've got a rare candy here to evolve that Nidoran into a Nidoqueen. It's got a fantastic ability, Invitation, that allows you to search for any evolved Pokemon or basic Pokemon, including Pokemon EX. So that's going to allow me to set up the board really easily. We've got a Slugma here, so that's going to be my target, and I'm going to bench that and use Bug Bite once again.
Okay, draw for my turn. So there we got the first Metagross coming down finally. We cannot retreat this Cast Form because it was attacked by the Trapinch, but we can use Delta Control. Okay, looks at the 3 of the top 4 cards were Holland Transceivers, so I'm going to be choosing to keep one of those in hand, and then putting the other 3 cards at the bottom of the deck. Delta Control is a really powerful ability to draw through the deck faster, and it can be used once every turn. Okay, we see a rare candy to evolve the second Beldum into another Metagross, giving us access to 2 Delta Controls now. Okay, so now we're picking up steam. Okay, once again, look at the top 4 cards of the deck, choose one, and put the other 3 at the bottom. There's the chosen card. So we've got 2 Metagross, we've just got to get these Dratini up to their Dragonite form, so we're starting off by evolving one of them into Dragonair so far. Lightning energy comes down to Metagross, so it's fully powered up to use its Crush and Burn attack. But we're going to be going for another Delta draw, getting another 4 cards out of the deck.
This is starting to look really scary here. The Holland Phantom has set up 2 Metagross already and is going for the Dragonites next. We need to get these Flygon EX into play as soon as possible. We've got an energy attachment to the active, going to allow me to use Mud Slap, and finally a Holland Mentor. Going to discard a Windstorm, of course not very good in this matchup in particular, and it's going to allow me to grab a Trapinch, as well as a Cast Form, and why not a second Cast Form? The Cast Form, of course, very good in this format, can be attached as a double energy card. Super versatile. And we've got the invitation here searching for that Magcargo, which also has a fantastic ability, Smooth Over, which searches for any card in the deck. You don't have to show your opponent, but I will show you guys what I grab. You put it on top of the deck afterwards. So you shuffle up, put it on top of the deck, and it works really well with Holland Adventurer and TV Reporter in this deck. We're going to go for that Mud Slap and take a KO, the first one of the game, going down to 5 prizes.
Okay, we lost the first prize of the game, but that's alright. We've got a fully powered up Metagross in the active spot now, plus another one on the bench. The Dragonair is going to be evolving into Dragonite, giving us access to Delta Charge. Now we can get back a Lightning Energy from the discard pile onto any benched Pokemon, so for any of you standard format players, it's going to be the same ability as the Flaffy with Dynamotor. The support is going to be a Holland Adventurer, discarding a Lightning Energy to then draw 3 cards from the deck. There's the first Delta Control, looking at the top 4 cards, choosing one, and then putting the other 3 at the bottom again. And it looks like the chosen one is going to be a rare candy. And that should give us access to our second Dragonite. So this is pretty much the ideal setup right here. 2 Dragonite and 2 Metagross for energy acceleration, attack power, and draw power. So the bench Metagross now has 2 Lightning Energy and a Metal Energy from the hand. And there's the second Delta Control. So just digging through the deck a little deeper just to get some more resources in the hand for future turns. Yeah, this is a really crazy deck. As you can see, indicated by the dice there next to Metagross, I've got close to 20 cards in hand now. And we're going to be attacking with Crush and Burn, hitting for 30 damage, plus 20 more for every energy discarded from my side of the field, so it's going to be enough to take the KO against Trapinch. Now back over to you.
Back over to my side here, we've got the Trapinch going down. That's okay though, as long as we can evolve into Flygon EX this turn. We've got Vibrava Evolution on the bench, and we're going to use that Invitation ability, likely grabbing the Flygon EX. And there it is. It is the colorless Flygon, or should I say the Dragon Flygon. And we're actually going to use that Smooth Over too to grab that rare candy and put it right on top of the deck. This will allow us to use a supporter card to draw it immediately, and that supporter card is going to be the TV Reporter. So I'm going to draw 3 cards here and discard a second Windstorm. Again, not very crucial in this matchup. Looks like we are going to see a rare candy into that Flygon EX, and its ability Emerge Charge will attach up to 3 energy from the discard pile to itself upon evolution. So we've got a Boost Energy, an Electric Energy, and a Rainbow Energy. So that is going to allow this Pokemon to use its Dragon Claw attack. Oh, and we've got a Plus Power too, so that's going to cancel out the Metal Energy. Of course, Metal Energy reducing 10 and Plus Power doing 10. We're going to attach for turn that React Energy to the benched Vibrava, and going to use Dragon Claw, which does 100 damage, plus 10, minus 10. Exactly enough for a knockout on Metagross. Going down to 4 prizes remaining. Back over to the Holland Phantom.
Ooh, that one really hurt. I lost one on my Metagross. And that Flygon is pretty beefy. It's got 150 HP and a resistance to lightning Pokemon. My Metagross is both lightning and metal type, so it's going to take a lot of firepower to bring it down. Okay, so let's start off by using the Holland Mentor, discarding a lightning energy to search the deck for another 3 basic Pokemon. And we've got the Latios Gold Star. Is going to be the ace in the hole to bring down this Flygon. The other two Pokemon are going to be Holland's Castform. Okay, so let's see what we can do for this turn. We still have access to one more Delta Control and 2 Delta Charges. Okay, just verifying that we have at least 2 Lightning Energy in the discard pile. And there's Latios coming down onto the bench. Both of the Dragonite activate their abilities to give 2 Lightning Energy onto Latios. Latios does have a pretty weird energy requirement though as a Dragon Pokemon. It needs a Grass Energy, a Lightning Energy, and a Psychic Energy for its second attack, but luckily we have access to Holland's Castform. It counts as both a Pokemon and a special energy card. If you equip it from the hand onto any Pokemon, you have to bounce an energy card back to the hand, but then it's treated as a double Rainbow Energy to fully power up Latios. And next, Metagross is going to be paying the manual retreat cost, discarding all of its energy to promote Latios into the active spot, and that should be enough to take the KO against Flygon. As Shining Star hits for 150 damage, times 2, hitting for weakness for 300 damage to take 2 prizes. Now back over to you.
Geez, that Latios Gold Star is a huge issue. We're going to send up this Nidoqueen here, which does have the attack Vengeance, which can hit for a bunch of damage if we have a ton of Pokemon in the discard pile. It does max out at 90 damage though, which is still enough to get a KO. Looks like I'm going to use Warp Point here though. Taking out either the Metagross or one of those Dragonite are definitely a priority at this moment. And we're going to send up our Vibrava here, which does have that React Energy. And going to use that Ability Invitation here to go grab another Flygon EX. Of course, the Emerge Charge will be very important here to attach a bunch of energy to the Flygon EX. But before that happens, going to use the Holon Transceiver here to search out the Holon Farmer. This card shuffles back 3 Pokemon in any combination and 3 energy in any combination back into the deck. A little bit of a mistake here. I do end up going for the Smooth Over and then using the Holon Farmer. It does not work like that, so don't do that in the future. We're going to use that Holon Farmer, and like I said, it does not work the way I thought it does. It shuffles the deck afterwards, so do not use Smooth Over the next time. Looks like we're going to keep the Castform in the discard pile, and we're going to shuffle back a Trapinch, Flygon EX, and a Trapinch. This is going to be pretty key because the Flygon EX, our third one, is prized, so we cannot get to that unless we shuffle back the other one. And we're going to evolve into the one we searched for and use Emerge Charge once again to attach a Boost Energy, an Electric Energy, and a Rainbow Energy. All very, very good cards, and is going to allow us to use this Castform here and bounce back that Boost Energy to use Nidoqueen's attack later. And we're going to use Reactive Blast. It's going to do 40 damage plus 60 more for each React Energy discarded. So it will do 100 damage exactly and take a knockout on that Dragonite. Back over to the Holon Phantom.
Okay, great. Just what I needed to see. Another Flygon EX. Luckily I still have got the Latios on my side of the field. So let's see if we can get it powered up and back into the active spot. So we've got a Dratini, the Rare Candy, and the second Dragonite to make up for the one that was just KO'd last turn. We do have access to 2 Delta Charges now. And I know for sure that we've got the Holland's Castform in hand, as we searched out 2 on the last turn with the Holland Mentor. Yeah, there's the second Holland's Castform to fully power up this Latios. So now the next step is going to be to get this Dragonite out of the active spot. So we see Metagross digging through the deck with Delta Control, choosing a card, putting the other 3 at the bottom of the deck. We just need a switching card. And yeah, that's exactly what we have. Switch to get Latios back up, and that's going to be another 300 damage for 2 more prizes. And there's a Shining Star.
That was an absolutely absurd turn there. This Latios Gold Star is a huge problem and we have to take it out. So again, gonna try and use that Vengeance attack this turn. We're gonna bench a Trapinch and attach that Boost Energy, which is gonna count as 3 colorless energies as long as it's attached to an evolution Pokemon. So really, really good in this matchup. We're going to use Invitation here to search for a Flygon EX and going to use that Smooth Over to search for a rare candy. Of course, should have been drawn into thanks to Smooth Over last turn, but that was a little bit of a mistake. So I am now going to use that Holland Adventurer here to discard. Looks like a Holland Transceiver, not going to need it at this moment, and going to draw 3 cards. And we know one of them, of course, is that rare candy, so we're going to see looks like another Trapinch here and a rare candy to evolve into Flygon EX. The Emerge Charge is going to activate once again and allow me to attach a React Energy, an Electric Energy, and a Rainbow Energy. Going to square up the bench a little bit as we have a Giant Stomp being played. This will discard all bench Pokemon down to 3 and prevent that player from playing down any more than 3. Gonna look at the discard pile here. We've got 5 Pokemon, so I am currently hitting for 80 damage, which is exactly enough to KO Latios Gold Star with that Vengeance attack.
Oh no, now we've got a third Flygon EX to contend with. Okay, so luckily we've only got 1 prize left to take to win this game, so we don't have to directly go up against this Flygon. So let's start off by putting Dragonite into the active spot. We do have access to 2 Delta Charges still, but we don't have access to Latios anymore. So it's going to be on Metagross to close out this game. There's a Delta Charges to start off with, getting 2 Lightning Energies. And we're going to be putting them onto Metagross. It just needs that Metal Energy to power up its Crush and Burn attack. And remember, Crush and Burn hits for 30 damage plus 20 more for every energy that's discarded. So we have to discard a total of 4 energy to take the 1-hit KO against this Nidoqueen. Okay, supported for the turn is going to be the Holland Farmer. Searching the discard pile for that Latios Gold Star. And 2 more Pokemon to shuffle back into the deck. So we're going to be choosing a Metagross and a Cast Form. There are no basic energy cards to shuffle back in, so it's just going to be these 3 Pokemon. And it is possible to draw into this Latios with a Delta Control ability, as the deck is pretty thin. So looking at the top 4 cards of the deck is going to be pretty useful. Okay, just making sure the deck is nice and shuffled up. Give it a couple of cuts. Okay, so let's see what else we can do for this turn. The play might have to be to draw into this Latios, so there's the Delta Control. Oh, but it looks like it's a total of 4 energy cards. At the very least, 2 of them are Metal Energy to power up this Metagross. But no Shining Latios yet. I'm just thinking about whether or not to attach this energy card, but yeah, it looks like opting to give the energy to Metagross. Metal Energy does also protect Metagross from 10 damage from the opposing side. Just kind of taking the time to think through the possibilities right now. We know that we're trying to avoid this Flygon on the other side. It is pretty tanky, and like I said before, it does have that resistance to lightning Pokemon. Okay, so we're going to be getting rid of the Giant Stump with the Windstorm, and there we see another Beldum coming down, evolving into Metagross with a rare candy, giving us access to another Delta Control. And still digging for that Latios, but I don't think we got it just yet. And plus we already used the Delta Charges for the turn. Okay, there we see a Warp Point. So Nidoqueen goes back to the bench to promote the Flygon. And on our side, it's going to be Metagross. So unfortunately, Metagross does need 9 energy to take the one-hit KO, so not even close. But we can at least do some chip damage by discarding 2 lightning energies for a total of 40 damage so far.
Oh boy, this is not looking good. Luckily, resistance is on my side, but with the Flygon only having 110 HP left, if the Shining Latios comes down, I am definitely doomed. I need to figure out what I'm going to do here. Looks like a Warp Point is going to be the option. Of course, the Metagross is sent up from the opponent here, and I'm going to send up the, looks like debating between the Trapinch or potentially the Nidoqueen. And it is going to be that Trapinch, so going to use that invitation to look for a Flygon EX, and here is where I realized that the Flygon is prized. So just going to grab a Vibrava here, and cannot rare candy into a Flygon EX this turn. If I had done some better sequencing, I might have been able to do that, but I'm going to have to use that Holon Transceiver for a Holon Adventurer and just draw a couple cards. I'm going to evolve into Vibrava on the active and attach a boost energy to that Nidoqueen and use a switch card here to get out of the active into that Nidoqueen. This is not a super ideal attack this turn, but it might have to do. We do have that plus power, which is going to turn that 90 damage Vengeance attack into a 100 damage attack, exactly enough to get a KO. And it looks like we're going to use Smooth over here just in case we get to play another turn. We're going to put a Giant Stomp on top of the deck. Giant Stomp, of course, will prevent my opponent from playing too many cards down. We're going to use that Holon Adventurer to discard a cast form, draw those 3 cards. One of them, of course, is going to be that Giant Stomp. So we're going to play down a Trapinch here, and we're going to use the Giant Stomp to actually get rid of the Trapinch or the Magcargo. And it is going to be that Magcargo, so putting 2 more Pokemon in the discard pile for that Vengeance attack. And we're going to use Vengeance for 100 damage and the knockout, going to 1 prize remaining.
Okay, we just lost another Metagross, but I think it's going to be okay. We just got to get a total of 4 energy in play to take the KO, which I think we just got. A manual attachment and 2 Delta charges to get some more lightning into play. And that'll be just enough for the Crush and Burn to take the one-hit KO against Nidoqueen. And there's the final attack to take the final KO and the final prize. And there's the handshake. Metagross is your winner. So what did you guys think of that battle? Let me know down in the comments below. And be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video to help this channel grow and reach new viewers. And I'd also like to give a huge thank you to Controlled Chaos Gaming for this awesome collaboration. And if you'd like to watch another of our battles, you can check out a standard format battle over on his channel, featuring Iron Valiant EX and Jolteon VMAX going up against Golden Go EX. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, this is the Holon Phantom logging out.